does nobody tell you about being a mortgage broker? It's not the license that's the hardest part, getting approved for your own mortgage brokerage. It's not even closing loans. The real struggle is running a business, learning new things that you have never had to manage before, and doing it in a way that doesn't burn you out or bleed you dry. In this video, I'm going to break down for you the hardest parts of growing a mortgage brokerage in 2025, not to scare you, but to prepare you. So if you're already in the game or thinking of starting your own mortgage brokerage, watch this video before you go another day without a plan. So we're going to get started with cash flow. I want to talk about cash flow because it's the first struggle that hits most new brokers like a brick wall if you're not prepared, right? When you open a mortgage business, a mortgage brokerage, you're paying for everything before your revenue ever really shows up. Think about when you transition and you go to another lender, sometimes they'll supplement or you get a sign-on bonus. That doesn't happen when you open your own business, but you also get to sell that business down the road, which you can't sell a business if you don't own it. There's licensing fees, tech platforms, insurance, the state's licensing costs to get approved. And the hardest part or the worst part, it does take 60 to 90 days at minimum before that pipeline that you'll start to build turns into commission dollars, and much bigger commission dollars than you're used to. So you are floating expenses. You are going to be having to rebuild a new pipeline, and you need to try not to panic while watching that you're going to have to use some of your savings. Now, it doesn't end there though. It's not just when you start a new mortgage brokerage, but it's even when you're established, and there can be production swings. Maybe in one year you close 150 loans, and then there's a year you close 75. Maybe a loan officer leaves that has been at your company, or rates jump. Maybe you stop originating. You don't want to originate and you're trying to be more of a business owner. And suddenly there's no plan B for revenue and it's getting smaller and smaller. And that's when most broker owners start thinking like, did I do something wrong? Like what did I do here? Did I just build a job that pays me less and stresses me out more, or do I need to change something? What I want to explain is that growth eats cash. And that's the struggle of growing a business that hopefully one day you won't have to originate, which is a lot of people's goals. And so everybody says that they want to scale, that they want to mentor other people, open in more states, add more LOs, invest in marketing, like do all these things. But the truth is, most people ignore that there is a cost to that. That growth eats cash, and you're going to have to invest money to get to that place. Hiring before you have the closings to cover draws for new loan officers, it's going to come out of somebody's money. Launching ads before you have started converting leads takes money. Adding systems and software that should make things easier, but ends up creating more work in the beginning, adds costs. And it's the cost that I experienced for years. I don't think there's one thing I haven't experienced. So you're investing, you're spending, you're trying to keep your foot on the gas when you do this while your cash reserves are shrinking at first. But I promise you, if it works, it starts climbing and it's exciting. But if it's not controlled and thought through, it can choke your business and really stress you out. So let's talk about sales, processing, ops, and this overload cycle that can also happen for the third thing. It's something that I see kill a lot of broker owners who didn't think about all the stuff that has to happen once they open their business. There's the people who try to do it all. They originated before and now they have to originate and do that stuff. You're the salesperson, the processor, the operations manager, the HR contact person. Oh, and don't forget, you're also trying to be the business owner who's trying to be the visionary and grow the business, right? When you're trying to juggle all these things, these three key categories of sales, processing, and operations, you're not going to do any of them well, and your pipeline will shrink and you will make less money. You miss follow-ups, you approve things late, you delay decisions, and eventually a wheel can come off. And this is where systems and support stop being a luxury and start being a survival tool. Or people will say, I don't want to own anymore, right? You just have to know what you're in for and have a plan if you want it to go well. And then number 4 is burnout. And I'm going to be brutally honest here with anyone who owns a brokerage, wants to grow it. Burnout doesn't always look like giving up. Sometimes it looks like staying exactly where you are with a business that hasn't changed year after year. You're stuck. And you're stuck because you're scared to take a risk and spend money that will pay off, stuck because every past hire that you've made has burned you, stuck because you're tired of change or new ideas feel like pressure, the how you feel so unsure if something's going to work. Or I know for me, one of the hardest things was losing a team member and not being able to replace them with a quality person for some time, because interviewing takes time, negotiating takes time, onboarding takes time. So you just keep going, but you're doing more work, making less progress, and you feel like, why did you do this sometimes? That's burnout, and it's real. And the good news is that there's a way out of it. For me, the fastest way out of burnout has always been with mentors and coaches who have been in those shoes before, and they can help you get through it. Or outsourcing instead of hiring, making smart, lean decisions when you own a brokerage. And the thing is, just know like you're not alone in these struggles, but you do need a plan and support to get through them. And what do you want? Would you rather spend some money up front and not have to go through as much of that pain? Or would you rather struggle through it because it's less expensive in the moment? So if you're ready to stop white knuckling it with your business, if you want a brokerage that runs with you, not on you, I put a link in the description and you can book a free strategy call with me, and I'll take a look at what you're doing in your mortgage business, your cash flow, your team, and help build a path forward, help come up with a plan. I hope you like this video. Hit that subscribe button if you do, so that you can watch more of our videos that we release every week. Subscribe for just real talk about building a mortgage business, and leave me a comment if you're struggling with something or you're afraid you might struggle with something if you own a business, because you don't have to do this alone. You own it. We support it. Let's build something bigger, better together.